products, and many things we are getting it. And like we know the various platforms we'll be using it, like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, plenty of Twitter, all these things. Okay, so here these platforms are, we thought like we'll be using all these things in order to communicate with the people. It is one of the reason, I mean it is one of the fact, but apart from that, we are using these platforms to engage their customers, and the kind of a business productivity is made with these kind of they are promoting the business with these kind of platform. It acts as one of the platform where we can be able to improvise your business and promote their products and the services. And this is going to measure the effectiveness, as well as like it is going to give more insights towards the social media analytics. Okay, so this is where like in order to improvise the I mean the connect with the people and improvise the business by using some of the techniques, the social media analytics is going to play a major role. Okay, so what do you mean by I mean social media analytics? So it refers to the process of gathering a large amount of data from various social media platforms, and we are going to analyze those data which we gathered from a plenty of resources, and it is going to gain more insight. I mean, we are going to gain a lot of insights in order to improvise the customer behavior, and what are the preferences we'll be having it, and various sentiment about the content, about the data what we are gathering. And it is a crucial part in understanding, and we are going to I mean leverage the power of those social platforms for n number of reasons and the purposes. Okay, so these kind of interpretations from these analytics. Okay, so I mean plenty of analytics tool will be using it in order to analyze those data. This will help you to make a firm decision where we wherever the people may And also it makes the social media analytics aids the businesses in making the strategy, and also which helps for targeting many marketing people. And also it involves many metrics such as like the likes, comment, what are the shares,
And also it
all those things we
makes
can
the
be able to get.
social media
And
analytics
also like
aids the
we
businesses
can
in
be able to
making the
monitor those
strategy, and
sentiment.
also
For
which
example, if
helps
they are given
for
a good comment,
targeting
so
many
we can be able to
marketing people.
social media channel will be in the. So likewise, if you those activities, what is the sentiment we can be able to do it, and what is the follower growth, how many followers are there for the particular customer, all those things. And also it aids in identifying the audience trend, how, in what frequency the audience are watching it, and how frequently they'll be checking their post, all those things, and their insights. All these information we can be able to gather it with this help of the Hootsuite insights. And next one is Sprout Social, which is also a management tool with a robust analytics platform, which is going to provide a detailed reports on performance metrics such as the engagement reach, and what are the impressions we can be able to do it. Okay, so and also it also going to offer some of the insights into the audience, especially the demographics of the audience and the sentiment of the audience. Main thing they'll be more focusing is the sentiment. Okay. And the next one is the buffer analyze, so which is going to offer metrics to measure the social media campaign effectiveness, and which includes the reports on engagement reach impressions, all these kind of things it is going to give you. And also it gives the which aids in trend identification and audience understanding. So this is one of the example where we are going to, I mean, here they have given the insights about the Instagram. Okay, so where this is one of the digital insights, Mayupuri, where we can be take it the cities, various cities, with the people with a certain people, where the percentage of the age as well as the percentage of the gender is classified. I mean, we can be able to classify the gender with women and men across the ages. So this is what it is. So Instagram Insights, which is an inbuilt analytics tool which is provided by the Instagram, and it offers demographic information, which is going to be your the factors such as the followers with their age range. So I mean, what is the age range the Instagram people are there, and what is their breakdown of the gender such as the male and female, and what are the locations they are doing it. And this will help you like how many people in this particular Instagram, and what are the top cities which is going to be present in this, all these things we can be able to do. So if you could see this picture, we could see like the total Instagram followers for a particular page is 11,176. Among that, we could so see that two two things, one is age and gender, and the next one is what are the top towns or the cities where the people has been associated. So if you could see, the age is like it varies from 18 to 24, one grade, one bin, and second one is 25 to 35, 35 to 44, 45 to 50. Likewise we have divided across six groups. Okay, in that, like you could see the peach people from 25 to 34 is more, and also among the gender, men is having the higher percentage, across 40 percentage are using the Instagram, so likewise the followers of those particular page. Okay, so this is one of the statistics. And coming to the cities, okay, where the people has been using the particular page, okay, they are following the particular page. So you could see the Bhubaneswar is one of the uh, one of the place where we are getting more people, more percentage of the followers. Next is Odisha. Likewise, we could be able to see the percentage of the people where they'll be having more followers, so we can be able to split up these kind of analytics, we can be able to do it. So this will help the business. Okay, so as I told you, we'll take any business in this case. Okay, so for example, they are going to sell a product. Okay, they are posted in the Instagram, so you could see so many people are posting their work, and in order to attract the client from the users. Okay, so this is what they are doing it. So they are creating their page, and inside the page they are posting the various the post, and what are the clients review, what are the work they have done it. So all those things they'll give, they'll post it. So with those things, the information has been shared across the page, and the people who are visiting those Instagram page, they can be able to see what it is about, what is the product, and what is the review. I mean, because like we need to know the information, what is their product and what is the review, how the people are satisfied with these things, then only we'll also approach the particular people and we'll be buying the product, right? So for these, this tool will help you to give the more analysis on that. So if you could see this one, okay, so we could be able to take plenty of data from this one, insights from this one. This will help you to give you more insight. This is somewhat similar to the analytics tool which you would have heard, like Tableau, Power BI, these kind of analytics that will be used for a generic one, but this is especially we can use it for Instagram. Okay. So this is also one of the use case where the Emirates airline, the airline company, is using the social media analytics for checking how the customers for their airlines are I mean they are, how they are very powerful, and how their service is going to impact the people. These things they want to check it, because simply we cannot be able to check their reviews. So using the any one of the social media platform, they are hosting it, and they are getting the responses from the customers. So this help them. So what is their feedback, the people's feedback, so accordingly they can be able to improvise, okay, and continuously they'll monitor. So at this particular time period, if this is like a time series analysis, so where we can use a plenty of models like LSTM or Arima model or Sarima model, Sarimax, a plenty of time series analysis also, to check like what is their trend, how we can be able to monitor those data, and with those things what is their impact, or what is their feedback on the social media. These things will help them in order to make the business, or about to know about the customers, so that they can improvise their business, such that they can be able to improvise the service in order to get more benefit. So and also it also going to offer
this
some of the
analytics will
insights
help
to the
the
audience,
help the
especially the
Emirates airline
demographics of the
services
audience and
to
the
improve their
sentiment of the
customer
audience.
service by enabling
Main
the airline to
thing
respond to
they'll be
what are
more
the customer
focusing is
queries
the
and
sentiment,
what are their
and
concerns.
the next one
If
is the
they are
buffer
facing
analyze,
difficulties
so
in a
which is
particular
going to offer,
airline,
so
metrics
they'll
to
they'll
measure the
they'll
social
be
media campaign
checking with those
effectiveness,
things, and they can
and
be
which
able to
includes
resolve
the
it in a
reports on
timely manner.
engagement,
Okay,
reach,
so
impressions,
in
all
this way
these
the
kind of
airline is
things it is
engaging
going to
their
give you.
customers in order to make
And also it
effectively,
gives the
in order to make in order to give the services in an effective manner. Okay, and also they'll change the behavior of the people and the working staffs, all those things, with the help of these comment. Okay. So these are the platforms which help to identify what are the trends and what are the opportunities they'll be having it, all those things. Okay, with this we can be able to create more effective communication and many advertisement campaigns which will lead to increase the brand name and awareness about the airlines, and this will increase the loyalty or insights about the Instagram in this way. So the business can be improved, and this will help the customers also to understand about the various options for the airlines and which one is the best. So we, the customers, as a customer, we also have a plenty of
certain
options,
people
and we
where
can be
the
able to analyze
percentage
with
of the
various features
age
of a
as
particular
well as the
uh,
percentage of the gender is
airlines,
classified.
and we
I
come
mean,
to know which is
we
the
can
best
be able
for
to
our
classify the gender with women and
each one will
men
be having their
across the
constraints, right?
ages. So
So
this is what
based
it is.
on their
So
constraint, which
Instagram
airline they
Insights,
can
which is an
come across.
inbuilt
So
analytics tool
likewise
which is
we can
provided
be
by
able
the
to
Instagram.
analyze,
So
and
this
it
is one of the
offers
use case
demographic
which we
information,
can
which
check
is
with
going
this.
to be your
And
these are some of the pros
the
of the
factors such as their
social media
followers,
analytics. After
their
this we'll
age,
go with the modeling,
age range.
how we can be
So
able to
what is the
use
age range
the
the Instagram
various
uses out
modeling
there,
techniques in
and
order
what is
to
their breakdown of the
perform
gender, such
these
as the
social media
male and
analytics.
female, and what are the
So
locations they are
this is
doing it.
one of the
And
social
this will
media
help you
analytics is
like
one of
how
the
many people
essential
in
tool
this
in order to
particular
improvise the
Instagram,
business
and what are the
with
top
so
cities
many
which is going to be
strategies,
present
and
in
which
this.
will
All these
help
things we
the
can be able
customer
to do. So if you
engagement.
could see
And
this
also it
picture,
drives
we
the
could see
sales,
like the
which
total
gives more
Instagram
productivity
followers
to the
for a
business.
particular
And
page is
also by analyzing the data from various social media
11,176.
platforms,
Among that,
so we can be
we
able to
could
gain
see
valuable
that
insights which will help the to focus more on the
two things.
audience,
One is
and
age
what
and
are the
gender, and
performance
the
of the
next one is what are the
various
top
people,
towns or
and
the
what are
cities
the
where the people has been associated.
feedbacks we
So
got
if
it
you
for
could see the
various
age is like
posts which we have
it
done it,
varies from
and what is the
18 to
sentiment for the
24, one
brand,
grade,
whether
that is
good,
good, and second
neutral,
one is
or
25 to
bad
35,
likewise, and
35 to
what are the
44,
competitors
45 to
for
50.
those.
Likewise,
All
we
these
have
information we can
divided
be able
across
to
6
gather. So
groups.
this will help
In
for
that,
the
like you
business
could
a
see
lot.
the peach people
These insights can
from
help business
25
optimize
to
their social
34
media
is more,
strategy,
and
and
also
which will help for
among
the
the
overall
gender, men is having the higher
improvise of the
percentage,
performance
across
in
40
the social
percentage are
media.
using
So
the
with these
Instagram. So
variety
the
of social
followers of
media
those
analytics
particular
tools
people.
available in the
Okay,
market,
so this
so
is
you
one of the
can
statistics.
choose the
And
best one
coming to the
which will suit
cities,
for
okay,
your
where the
objective
people
and
has
which
been
will
using
satisfy
the
your needs
particular page,
and
okay,
the
they are following the
various
particular page.
requirements of
So you
your
could see the
of
Bhubaneswar is
your
one of the
needs.
uh,
I mean, one of the
So
place
here
where
are
we are
simple
getting
steps
more
how
people,
we can
more
be able to
percentage of the
make the
followers. Next
analytics,
is Odisha.
especially the
Likewise,
social
we
media
could be able
analytics,
to see
in
the
order to make
percentage
a
of the people where
success.
they'll
So
be
a plenty
having
of, I
more
mean, a
followers.
series of
So we
steps
can
are
be
there
able to see
how we can
these
be
kind
able
of
to plan it,
analysis we can
how
do
we
it.
can be able to refine
So
it, and
this will
finally
help
how
the
we can be
business.
able to
Okay, so
report
as
those
I told
data.
you, we'll
So
take
this
any
will help
business
you
case
like
case.
how
Okay,
we can
for
be able to
example,
analyze
they
your
are going
data
to
in
sell
order
a
to
product.
make a
Okay,
business, or
they
I
are
mean
posting
whatever
on
the
Instagram.
things
So
we are
you
going
can
to
see so
engage
many
with the
people
social
are
media,
posting
we
there
can be
to
able to
work and
made
in
it
order
as a
to
successful one.
I mean
Okay,
attract
so the
more
first
clients for
step
the users.
is
Okay,
your
so
planning.
this is what
The
they are doing.
first
So they are
concept which
creating
is
their page,
involved is
and
planning,
inside
the
the
next
page
one is
they are
refining, the
posting the
other one is, the
various
last one is reporting. Coming
I
to the
mean the
planning, so
posts,
here we are
and
going to
what are the
have
clients
three
they
major
do,
steps.
what
So
are
the
the work
first
they
step
have
is
done.
your
So
measurement
all
plan.
those things
So we
they'll
are
be
going to
they'll post it.
work it out
So with those
how,
things the
I mean how
information
you
has been
want to track it
shared
and why
across
we
the
want to
page,
track it.
and the
Okay,
people
so
who
for
are
example,
visiting
for a particular
those
business, we are
Instagram
considering a
page, they
business.
can be
Okay,
able to see what it
so
is about, what is
which
the
one we can
product,
take it,
what is the
as I
review.
told
I mean,
you,
because
like we need to know the information,
I
what
mean,
is their product and
plenty of
what is the
makeup
review,
artists
how
are
the people are
posting
satisfied
there.
with
I mean,
these things.
they are
Then
having
only
so
we'll
many
also
channels, and
approach
they
the
are
particular
posting
people
their
and we'll be buying the product.
works.
Okay,
So
and
for
they are
these,
attracting the
this tool will help you to
customers
give the
with
more
many
analysis on
works
that.
which they
So
have
if you
done
could see
already.
this one.
Okay,
Okay,
so the
so we
first
could
step
be able
is
to
what
take
is your,
plenty of
the first step is your
data from
measurement
this
plan.
one, insights
Okay,
from this
so
one.
what is your
The
this will help
measurement
you
plan in the
to
sense,
give you
here
more
we are
insight.
going
This
to
is
do
somewhat similar
why
to the
we want to
analytics tool
track
which
it,
you would have
what
heard,
you want to
like
track it.
Tableau,
These
Power
things
BI,
we have
these
to do
kind
it.
of analytics
Why we
that
want to
will be
do it?
used for
In
a
order to
generic one,
attract
but
the
this is
customers for the
especially we
makeup.
can use it for.
Okay, so
Instagram.
for example, for some of the occasions they'll be doing the makeups.
So this is
So
also
for
one of
that,
the use case
like
where
we have to
the
attract the customers
Emirates
such that
airline,
we
the
have to
airline
post all your things,
company
all those things.
is
So what
using
is
the
the main
social media
objective of that?
analytics
So why
for
we want to track
checking
that?
how
Okay,
the
so this is the first
customers
one
for
which we have
their
to take it
airlines
into
or
account. Okay,
and I mean
these
they are
series of
how
steps will
they
help
are
you how we
I
can
mean very
make
powerful,
the
and how their
business
service
or
is going to
the
impact
particular
the
product.
people in
These
your
things they want to
I
check
mean
it,
social media
because
to get
simply we cannot
more
be able to
profit, all
check
those
their
things. Okay,
reviews.
so
So
first
using
one
the
is like for
any one
example,
of
do
the
you need to
social
check
media
the
platforms
performance of
they
your
are
latest
posting it,
campaign or
and they are
understand.
getting
Offer
this
some of the
analytics.
help,
So whether you are
especially the
updated or
demo.
ஓ இங்கே புரிஞ்சுச்சு மேம், புரிஞ்சு. இப்போ கரெக்டாக கேட்குங்க மேம். மேம் வந்து யூடியூப் லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம் பண்ணுறதும் இப்போ ஆன் பண்ணி வச்சுருந்தேங்க மேம், இதையும் ஆன் பண்ணி வச்சுருந்தேங்க மேம்.
you should
அதனால்
not
வந்து
stick on to the old
எக்கோ ஆகிட்டே
practices.
இருந்துச்சுங்க மேம்.
Okay, make sure your goals are well defined, and it should be refined every time. Okay, so you should not stick on to the old practices which you have done it like 3 years 4 years back. Okay, so you should be very clear with the up to date information, and what it is well defined one and what is a measurable one. All those things you should be very clear with it, so that you can compare your performance campaign, what is the previous one, how far you have come, I mean increased or improved the performance of the latest one. So likewise, there should be a gradual performance increase in the the flow of the work which you have done it. So that is the second one. So second point is like you should be very clear with the past performance and what are the latest technologies which you are following, and based on that you have to set the goal. So how much, how you are going to work with the forthcoming clients, this is what you have to decide it. The third step in your planning is your, you should be setting up very clear time frames for monitoring, such that you are not comparing the other people with different strategies. Okay, also strategic timing will also keep it into an accountable one, so that you can be able to set the goal in a very clear and precise manner. Okay, so the second one is like what are the clear cut time frames. In these time frames, what is the trending makeup that you have to apply on it. So likewise, you should be very clear with the time frame where you have to apply the particular the technique which you are going to follow it, whether it is up to date. So all these comes under your planning your data which has to, I mean, planning your social media analytics in order to make your I mean the company or a particular organization to made into a success. So first one is your measurement plan, how good you are going to work it out, what is the main purpose of it, what is your past performance, and what are the time frames. Okay, so that is what I have just depicted with a simple I mean picture, like I mean how we are going to work it out with a question paper, I mean sorry, question mark, and how we are going to set the goals, how we are going to have a clear cut idea about your goal, and what is the time frame where we are going to meet up with your clients. Okay, and the next step is your refining. Okay, so once your I mean monitoring, or once your planning period has been begun, okay, so you have to create some alerts in order to track the usual and unusual activities, or what are the happenings which is presenting it, who is following you, and what are the things they are asking in the comment. So likewise, you should have some alerts which will help you quickly react to those things. And if they ask you some information, so what is your mobile number, so what are the services you are providing it, so likewise if they are giving some questions to you, okay, so you should be in a very alert, and you should be in a very correct time you have to reply back to the customer, so that you may not lose the customer. Okay, because they need some information about it. For example, whether you'll come for this location for a particular makeup, okay, for a particular function, so whether this timing is comfortable for you, whether this cost is comfortable for you, whether this kind of I mean makeup, whether you can be able, likewise, in order to I mean get the questions clarified for the client, so we have to follow those comment and what are the questions they are coming up, which will help you to improvise their business, and we can be able to get more clients. Okay, so check the results to ensure they are relevant and filter if necessary. And I mean, this is a generic public platform, so surely you'll not get only positive vibes or positive comment, so we'll be getting both positive as well as negative. Just for fun also they'll be doing it, because they'll be playing it. It is not going to matter for them, right? So you have to ensure and you have to filter appropriately. This is very important, because like you could see so many YouTube I mean comment. Okay, so many people are giving their comment openly, like this is not good, this explicitly they'll be doing it. Okay, so I mean they'll not bother about those things. You should know like how to filter all those things, and which one you have to take it into account, which one will leads the success. That is what we have to do. I mean, we have to take the negative feedback, but not to a greater extent. So whether it is going to really affect the business, you have to take it into account, but otherwise you should reject it, or no need to consider that. Okay, so this is what it is. Just for kidding, or just for just I mean they can play with so many comment, and that you have to be I mean in a clear and precise way, you have to filter those comment, what it has to be taken, and what it has to be take necessary action, and what are the comments which no need to care about it. So these things you should be various, I mean you should be very careful in filtering those things. So this keyword filtering is very helpful, so that it is going to result in I mean what to say, it is going to result up in a very clear and precise results. Okay, and the last one in your refining is you can check your topmost themes and the influencers, which will make the message refinement, which will be very helpful, which will be very I mean helpful for improving your business, and which will make you to involve in the a business, or it will help you for the business. So those things you have to check it, and you have to give more preference to those things. Okay, so all these three activities. So the first one is your monitoring period, where you have to clearly monitor your data from the page, and what are the things which is happening it, and how it is I mean taking it up, how you are receiving the things, whether you are given the correct alerts, such that you will be receiving the correct alerts from the I mean alerts whenever they are posting new comment or new questions, any doubts, any clarification, any of those data they are posting it, whether you can be able to readily available to answer those things. Okay, so that is the first one. And the second one is we are going to filter it out, what is necessary, what is not necessary. We should be in a position to filter out what it is necessary for us and what it is not necessary for us. So that is your second one. And third one is your the influence or the topmost theme which is required for you. Okay, so this will help you in order to make or in order to what to say uh, help you who are the main supporters or who are the influence which makes your business a profitable one. So all these concepts we have explained, I have explained with the picture. Okay, so this is what the refining is about. The last one is your reporting, how you are going to reporting it. Once you have plan, once you are planning as well as the refining is over, we are in a you are in a proper reporting position where you can be able to what to say, you are in a clear and precise way where you can be able to uh, take the metrics which will be needed, and accordingly you can be able to uh, i mean give a report or a dashboard which will help you to know like what are the things are there, what are the peoples are there, what are their requirements, what is needed, what are the things we have to be improved. So all these things you should have a clear and concise points you will be having it. So this is like a dashboard where you will be having the various metrics, you can monitor all those things. Okay, and the next one is make sure what is the data you are plotting it in your the dashboard, which is very clear, and we'll have the exact measures which will help you to measure what is there exactly, and what are the various visualization or the analytics tool which will help you in order to project your data. So all those things we should be very careful in choosing those things. This will help to go to your manager and report it to them, or whenever it is required. It is not required for all the things. If it is a like large scale, then we'll be having a plenty of managers and the clients to showcase what are the things, what is the progress in your thing. All those things you have to showcase it. Okay, and apart from your original planning, so what are the various analytics behind it? So all those things, so the second picture represents all of your analytics. What are the things you are monitoring, what is about your competitor, what are the industry need, also all those things you have to take a look into it. And finally you are going to share the reports, what are the things. So this is about our client, so this is what we got the feedback. So what is your customer satisfaction rating? So likewise using various parameters, so it will be a rating or it will be the live comment by the customer. If you take for the makeup artist which we are discussing the example, so you could take like the comment. Okay, so in the event they will give you the live comment like this is fine, I'm comfortable with this, likewise the comment and the rating, and like the products which they have used it. So likewise they can, about the artist, so likewise they can showcase their the people can, the client can showcase about their feedbacks through any of these mechanisms. This will help the business in order to gain more clients and about their products. So many things we can be able to improve, helps you to improvise your business. So this is about the reporting. Okay, so you have to take the metrics and you have to create a report which contains all your analytics, and you can project it in a dashboard with any of the tools. And you have to make what are the elements which will help you to make the performance, and you have to project it. And finally you are going to share the reports with any of the social media, such that you can be able to maintain, or you can be able to maintain across various team members, which will help you the attain the profit, and which will help you to improvise the organization objectives. Okay, so this is about the various steps which will help, or which is a key factor which will help for the social, which will be making a business a successful one with various steps. Okay, the major things are planning and refining, and then final one is reporting. Okay, so this is about the social media analytics, how your, how the social media analytics is going to create an impact in the business or in any of the uh, technique which will make you to give more profit towards a particular uh, it may be an organization or it may be a particular company, anything. Okay, so for all those things, how a social media data analytics is going to give you success in order to improvise the productivity and the customer engagement. Okay, so now we are going to use the techniques. So these are all like the simple techniques where we are not going to use much AI technologies. Okay, so now we are going to see how the AI technologies, which is because the latest trend is almost we are into the AI, right? So how it is going to give you greater impact, or the AI is going to give more thrust towards the so not only social analytics, a plenty of areas. So one area among that is social media data, and how it is going to give you more impact to the business. That is what we are going to see it. Okay, fine. So before getting into the things, I have some demos. Okay, so this is about the demo, how we are going to work it on. I have already worked it out, but due to some security reasons, I could not, because I have used the API keys and the tokens, all those things. So I'll not demo it. Already I have done it last night. So I'm going to show you all those things. Okay, how we are going to do it at the simple one, and how we are going to start with the simple deep learning technique with NLP techniques, all those things, and with some of the LLM models such as BERT, and finally, which is going to give you the better one when we take about the Instagram data with the Gemini Pro. So this is about the demo part, which I'm going to showcase you. So, but while we are going to this demo, so we need to know like about the underlying technologies, or underlying uh, the modeling, what it is happening, all those things. So that's why I just planned you a few concepts. I think you guys are very familiar with these things. Just I'll give you 10 minutes introduction about these things if anyone is very new to this area. Okay, then we'll go with the demo part, like how we can be able to analyze the data. Okay, such that the session is going to be planned. I don't want to bore you with more of the theory part. Okay, fine. So for all these data modeling, okay, especially for data predictions, or what is the sentiment we need to analyze it, or how we can be able to analyze your data with all these things, even for trend analysis, for all those things, the base is your A modeling. Okay, so for that, I just give you the very basics of the technologies. I think you all know about it, so just I'll go through very faster. Okay, so A, you know very well, like it is the entire thing, all the technologies which we are using: machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, LLMs. So all, for all of these things, the A is the base. Okay, so you know very well, it is the area where we are going to artificially creating the intelligence in order to make the systems, or the computers, or any device which will act like humans. This is what the entire the precise definition for artificial intelligence: making the intelligence to any substance, or anything, by creating artificially like the humans. This is what it is about. And it is going to imitate the intelligence of the human behavior, what we are thinking at this moment, what I have to do. If you are asking, you show a demo, I should switch over to the demo and I have to show it. Okay, so according to the intelligence of the human behavior, the machines also should react. Okay, so for that, what are the techniques we are doing it? That is what the AI. And machine learning, it is a set of algorithms, and we are going to predict some of the information based on your past data, and some of the information what we have, we are going to predict the future of it. That is your machine learning. We'll be using some of the algorithm in order to do this task. And deep learning, you know very well, it is like a subset of your machine learning, and it is having a plenty of neural network based concepts, and this is going to imitate like your neural system of the human brain. Okay, yeah. So especially I'm going to focus more on deep learning models, and then like we are going for the LLM models, especially the latest one, that is the Gemini Pro. That is what I'm going to show you the demo. Okay, so deep learning, you know very well, like it is next to it is a subset of your machine learning, where we'll be using the neural network based concepts in order to extract the features very precisely and clearly by using many new layered structures. Okay, so you know, like if you're having an image of a car, we need to identify what are the various features of the car by analyzing the image of the car by various layer extractions. Okay, by inspecting various layers, we can be able to clearly understand about the feature, and finally based on those features, we'll be telling that this is a car, the picture is a car. So likewise we are predicting it. So that is one of the example. Okay, you know very well, the types of the various neural networks, which is feed forward, the common thing which we are using it; convolution, which will be mainly used for images; and recurrent, which is having a feedback mechanism for audio and video analysis, will be using RNN. Okay, and LSTM, which is also a type of RNN, which will help you which is making use of the memory cells such as the forget gates. All those things will be using it. If there is a sequential data, we'll be using this LSTM models. And the GANs, it is a transformer based networks. I mean, this is the base for the transformer based networks, generative adversarial networks. And here you'll be having two components like generator and discriminator. This is the technique which will be used in almost all the latest models which we are using. Okay, so these are the various types of the neural networks, that is your deep learning algorithm feed forward, or you will be calling it as a artificial neural network, very basic one, where we'll be having input layer, different layers for processing your input, and then the final output layer, and then convolution layer. Plenty of layers will be there where the image will be taken, and you'll be analyzing the images in a plenty of steps. By I mean, a plenty of steps are involved, like uh, what to say, will be making the features, or we are detecting those features with various steps. Okay, so that is what we are going to do it. So this will help for the image classification, object detection, all those things. And here also, like, we'll be having I mean, a plenty of layers involved in processing your images. And recurrent, like here also, like, we'll be having a feedback mechanism with a plenty of layers. Okay, so this is mainly used for your major problem solving, that is your NLP based thing, and speech recognition, and some of the time series analysis. So for all these things, LSTM also we'll be using it for time series analysis, all those things. Okay, so this is going to capture mainly the sequential data. Okay, so GANs, like I mean, this is kind of a transformer based models, which is having a generator and discriminator, which will work together, and we can be able to synthetically generate the data, and we can be able to distinguish between your real and the synthetic data. And this is also mainly used for image generation, data synthesis, anomaly detection, all these. So all these kind of types of deep learning algorithm or neural network based algorithms are mainly used for analyzing the text, image, video, and feedback based data. So all these things will be using it. Next is your transformer. Okay, so like the latest technologies, or the generative AI concepts, LLM models, everyone are, I mean, every models are using the transformer based model. Okay, so this is also one of the type of a deep learning model which is revolutionizing the entire AI world, with the especially the concept of natural language processing. Okay, so initially a transformer was introduced in the year 2017 in the paper Attention is All You Need. I think you would have come across with these things. This is what the fundamental, the transformer is the fundamental block for many of the artificial intelligence based applications. Okay, and I mean, this is pre-trained models, and I mean, the transformer based model has been trained with so much of data, and these pre-trained model, especially BERT, the GPT. Nowadays we are using GPT 3.5, and I mean, this is open source, but when you come for 4 and other things, it is cost effective, so we need to pay and we need to use it, and so many things. So all these things are pre-trained with a large amount of data. Okay, and we can be able to fine tune it, especially in order to use for a particular task. For example, if I want to use it for a summarization technique, especially I want to summarize the medical data or social media data. So for a particular application, we can be able to customize, and we can be able to use the model for solving a particular task. Okay, and this I mean, transfer learning capability make the models, which is one of the popular one. Okay, so I mean, in GAN, we have just seen the discriminator and the generator, right? So similar kind of a thing in transform also, we are having two main component, like encoder and decoder. So these are the two main building blocks of the transformer, which converts your sequence of your input into a vector, and then it is converting into a sequence where what is the ultimate task of it, it is going to be followed, and it is going to be converted into the required format which it is required. Okay, so for example, I had just given a small example where a French text is converted or processed into a English equivalent text. Okay, so this is one of the I mean, example where we'll be using transformer based technique which will encode and decode, which means like in the encoding this is going to turn the sequence of the input into a vectorized format, and then the decoder is going to convert the vector into a sequence of data which it is required. So as I told you, like Jesus is etudiant, that is a French word. So the equivalent word which is going to be converted into English language is I'm a student. So it is going to pass through a series of steps. So to the overview, to the in a over in a overview I had just given as an encoder and decoder. Okay. So next is the detailed explanation of the encoder and decoder technique. I think you would have known about the self-attention mechanism. This is the main keyword in your transformers. This is what it is used in almost all the latest models. Okay, so which means like we can be able to weigh the various elements of your model, and I mean the input and the model, and we can be able to dynamically adjust those data in order to reflect it back into the output. Okay, so this is what the self attention mechanism. So this is what the base for the transformer. Apart from your other mechanisms, this is what the self attention is, the major component in the transformer which will make your data such that what is the importance of the data in that particular context and how it has to be processed, and accordingly we can be able to process those kind of a data and we can be able to give the output. Okay, so if you could see the detailed one, so initially the input is passed to the self attention mechanism, and then it is feed forwarding it to the next one. And in the decoder, initially we'll be having the self attention mechanism, and then the encoder decoder attention is there, and then finally we are doing it with the feed forward in order to require, I mean in order to obtain the required output. Okay, so these are the detailed explanation of the various layers in the encoder as well as the decoder. Okay, so first comes the encoder. Okay, so where you'll be having self attention and feed forward mechanism. Okay, so the encoder input first passed by the self attention layer, and it is going to output the self attention to the next layer, that is your feed forward network layer. Okay, so it has some temporal characteristics, which means which word has to be in this one, what is the position of it, what is the impact of the other one. Okay, so various steps like tokenization, many steps it will be happening over here, tokenization, stemming, many steps will be taken over here. Okay, so for example you can take a sentence like the cat didn't chase the mouse because it was not hungry. Okay, here we can easily tell if it is referring, I mean what are the words which is going to follow up it up with the next one. So first they are mentioning it as cat, so when it comes for the next word, that is it is referring to the cat. Okay, so this is for a simple understanding, these understanding has to be understood. So these kind of a mechanism is your self attention. Okay, so this is the method which is helps to reformulate the representation based on all the other words of the sentence. Okay, it is going to recognize that here it represents the cat. Okay, so likewise it can be able to recognize what is the forthcoming word and what it is going to represent with respect to your past data. So all these things, I mean this is going to take your I mean feedback and the past data, everything it is going to take it into account, and it is going to follow it up with the next one what it is going to be. Okay, and the next one is your decoder architecture. Here we are having three successive layers, as I told you, self attention and the encoder decoder attention, and finally feed forward. Okay, so as we have the decode, I mean the encoder has the self attention as well as the feed forward, which is also present in the decoder. Okay, so but here uh, the difference is that which will help like to relate your input sentence to your output, or what is your input, how we have to project it as output. The basic binding between your input and output is done with the help of this encoder decoder attention. Okay, so yeah, plenty of layers are there in your encoder and decoder, which is around 6 layers basically. Okay, so which is going in each layer, each task will be taken it. So you could see the, I mean in NLP the basic task will be there, right? So each word, I mean if you take a word, okay, in, I mean what to say, in basic text processing, okay, you would have taken a word sentence, in that first you will be tokenizing it, then you will be using some of the lemmatization, stemming technique, all those things you will be doing it, right? So likewise here also 6 layers are there, each layer is going to perform a particular task. Okay, so first in the bottom layer, word embeddings are performed, and each word will be converted to a vector, because like it is going to convert your text into a vector, right? So similar kind of a thing, which is of the size 512. The input to the other encoders would be the output of the next encoder. Likewise it is going on. Okay, so there are various layers in the encoder, which is going to follow the steps of the NLP techniques, which you know, like it will be like doing parts of the speech tag, and what are your constituents, what are the dependencies, and what are the semantic meaning, sentiment. Likewise a plenty of what is your reference, what are your relationship. So all these activities is going to take it. Okay, so the last layer is your softmax layer, where only we can be able to exactly classify whether this word is belongs to this sentiment or this sentiment. Likewise we can be able to clearly classify your data, right? So that is your last part of it. Okay, so the next one is your LLMs. So like you know very well, like the LLMs or the demo is also like that. Like we'll be starting with the basic one, simple one, with the text blob NLP based library, and then next we'll go with the deep learning technique and NLP based one, and finally like generative AI model like Gemini Pro I'm going to show you. And gradually the performance also, the sentiment is also very good when compared to the first technique. So this is what the demo is going to be. Okay, so for that the LLM is also an important one, where we can be able to perform various NLP based tasks. I think you would have come across this keyword plenty of times nowadays, because so many researchers are in LLM based models only. Okay, so this is also mainly intended to perform the NLP based task. Okay, so as I told you already, these models are already pre-trained. Okay, with a massive amount of data sets, and according to your perspective, or according to your problem, it can be able to sort it out with various I mean what to say, we can be able to customize those models to particular problem. For example, if I want to summarize a content, I have to go with the summarize based content with the predefined one. Okay, for example, if I want to make predictions, I can use the pre-trained model along with the prediction based one. So likewise we have to make these models to apply, that is the pre-trained model to apply, such that we can customize it for according to our need and the thing. Okay, so this is what it is. And these are the, I mean these are all like what are the things we'll be doing it: text classification, question answering, summarization, text generation problem. So likewise we'll be using it. Okay, so plenty of areas we are using: healthcare, finance, entertainment, social media, chatbots, all these areas we'll be using it. And these are the key components of the LLMs. So where we'll be having embedding layer, feed forward layer, recurrent layer, attention mechanisms, somewhat similar to your transformers. Okay, here the text embedding will be taken place in your embedding layer, and in the feed forward number of connected layers will be there in order to do the embeddings. What are the levels in your abstractions, what is your input, how the intent of the input is. So likewise we will be clearly understanding about the features of the input, all those things. And the recurrent layer, which is going to interpret the word in the next sequence, what it will be, what is the relationship, all those things will be taking place in this particular recurrent layer. Finally the attention mechanism, which helps the language model in order to focus on a single part of the input text and what is the relevant to it. So how it has to generate the output. So all those things will be taken care of this attention mechanism. Okay, so these are the various LLM models. I think you would have come across these names: GPT, generative pre-trained transformer 3. So nowadays 4 and all came. So now I think you would have used GPT 3.5, we are using it currently. So these are the other models, but it is also one of the popular model, bidirectional encoder representations from transformer P5, pre-trained personalized prompt and predict paradigm. Okay, and this P5 is mainly used for recommendation based task. Excelnet. Okay, um, T5. Okay, text to text transformer, transfer transformer. Okay, and Roberta. Okay, so these kind of examples we have for LLMs. Okay, So this is a simple architecture of the LLM. So where we'll be having the source data, which may be live or static data from the cloud, or I mean any places, and then we'll be using some embedding model in order to make the real-time indexing of the vectors. And then we have some retrieval RAG based, or any of the mechanism will be there, built-in retrieval mechanism, which will help to take the information from the data or from the prompts, and it is going to filter out with the particular content. And the next one is like your we'll be using some of the open AI model in order to get the data from the UI. And we have some augmented context or the prompt, which will help to go ahead with the particular I mean the prompt, and it is going to give you the results of it. And finally we are going to get the chat interface, where we'll be getting the output. And apart, I mean from those output, we can be able to go back to the fourth step, where you can be able to get the user prompt with various response, all those things. Okay, so this is what thing is generative AI. Like it is like we can be able to generate new text, images, musics, all those things you can be able to do it. And it is powered by many fundamental models, such as I mean large number of AI models, which can do multitasking, such as like summarization, question and answering, classification, plenty of tasks. Okay. And with minimal training, I mean since it was already pre-trained, we need I mean no need to take much risk. With a minimal training, we can be able to adapt to the use cases, and we can be able to get the good results. Okay, so this is some of the, I mean, some of the generative AI based models. Okay. So these are some of the tasks which will be using it. We can be able to create the image, music, all those things. So DALI is one of the generative AI one, where you can be able to create various images, AI based images, all those things, based on the context, all those things. Okay. So the next one is the Gemini Pro. Okay, so I mean this is also a transformer based one. This I'll take it up after the break, and then we'll go with the demo. The last one is the I mean Gemini Pro, and we'll go with the demo. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am, for letting us know the overview of an social media analytics, and thank you all for your cooperation. Participants can take a short break for 15 minutes. The practical session will be continued after the break. Thank you. Again, welcome one and all. I hope everyone had a little refreshment. Now, the practical session is going to be started. Welcome, ma'am. Now, the session is yours.
Yeah, thank you. So let me share my screen. Hope you can be able to see my screen.
Yes, ma'am. Visible, ma'am.
Thank you. Is my voice is audible?
Yes, ma'am. What?
Okay, thank you. Yes. Okay. So as I told you, like we are going to start with the basic, social media data analytics. Modeling, and then we'll go for the next. Better algorithm. This is what the agenda is about for the demo. Okay. So initially we are going to start with the basic library text blob, and then we'll go with the deep learning model LSTM and some of the lexicon based sentiment analysis, that is Wadered sentiment, and BERT transformer based algorithm, and then CRADF NLP and distal BERT. These are all like hugging face models. And then finally we are going to check with Gemini Pro, which is one of the predominant and the most used I mean social media, model, where for social media data it is doing very well. Okay, so this is what it is going to be. Okay, let's start with the first one. Okay, for one request, for some of the security reasons, morning only I run the code. I'll not run the code, already I have run it, and the API keys I just hidden it. Okay, so because all these things are developer account, so I just hidden the keys, secrets, all those things. Okay, so but the output I just kept it. Okay, so you can just see the code, and only the token, secrets, all those things are hidden, API key, all those things are hidden. Okay, so you, like if you want to explore, I'll share you the code, but all these things, the API key, secrets, all these things you have to create it. For some of the things, like all these things, normal people, we cannot get the access. It is like we need to get the developer access and some of the licenses we should have in order to obtain all these keys, tokens, secrets, and all. Okay, fine. So first one, as I told you, we are going to just sorry, I'm going to start with the sentiment analysis using text block. So this is a tweet data, where we can be able to collect the tweets, and we can be able to predict the sentiment based on the simple library, that is your text block. Okay, so which is like the text mining based library, where we can be, I think you would have heard across these things, but anyhow I'll just let you know. Okay, uh, is my zooming is fine, or shall I want to zoom in a little bit? Zoom in or zoom out? Is this fine?
Fine, ma'am.
Okay, okay, fine. So the first one which we are going to see is like uh, tweet data, Twitter data, where we can be able to predict the sentiment of the comment based on uh, the API keys. All, the uh, authentication purpose will be using a TP library, and based on that we are going to predict the sentiment. First I'll show you the outputs, and then we'll discuss about the code, so that you will clearly know like what had happened with this tweet. Okay, so when we are given the Biden, okay, so the name which I had given is Biden. So when we are giving the Biden, so I just taken only samples of 5 positive and negative tweets, not all the tweets. Okay, so out of all the tweets I have just taken 5 and 5 positive and negative tweets. So when you see, when you analyze the name, okay, you should give the name over here for the method analyze. When you start analyzing it uh, with the text block, simple library. Okay, text processing library, we are NLP based library. Okay, when we are doing that, we can be able to get the positive tweets percentage, negative tweets percentage, and neutral. Okay, you know, right, in the sentiment we'll be having, sometimes we'll be having only positive and negative, sometimes we'll be having three, or sometimes more than that. So depending upon your conditions, you can determine your sentiment. That is up to your uh, I mean, your level, like what is required, you can set it up accordingly. Okay, so here we have taken three sentiments: positive, negative, and neutral. So for the name Biden, we can be able to get the with the help of the TVP library, we can be able to extract the percentage of that. In positive is 42 percentage, negative is 14 percentage, and neutral is 42 percentage. Okay, so out of these things, the first five tweets alone I have just taken for the positive and negative. So if you could see it, real James Woods, I love how, I mean, this indicates like these are all like indicating your positive uh, data. Okay, so second one is I mean, real Donald Trump,
Excuse me,
Joe
ma'am.
Biden. Yeah.
Sorry for disturbance. Can you go on full screen mode?
Full screen. For this is a Jupyter lab. Okay. No, this full screen. I think for Jupyter lab we don't have any presentation kind of a thing. Just a second, I'll go with view. Mm,
I think we have to change in the Google Meet, ma'am.
oh, sorry.
In Google Meet, can you change to full screen mode?
Can I find that option? Full screen. Yeah. Is it fine now? Okay. Oh, I have to go here. Is it fine now or still I have to zoom it? Is it in now full screen mode? When I go here, yeah, I can go here, but when I come back over here, I could not be able to. But Google Meet is new for me. I could not good find option. Here I
No
need.
issues, ma'am. You can continue. No issues.
I can zoom in now. It's okay.
Yeah, fine, ma'am. Fine.
I think in Jupyter Lab, I could not be able to do full screen. Give me a second, I'll just explore it. Jupyter Lab, table of render all code. No, I think we don't have any option of it. All right. Sorry, I could not be able to do that. I'll proceed with this one. Okay. So if you have any queries, just let me know. Okay, so that I'll just let you know. Okay. So coming back to the tweets. Okay. So from these things, we are very clear, like the positive words or the, I mean, which is favoring for the people with the positive vibrations. It is going to give you the positive tweets. Okay. It's not going to slander social security and medical trend. I mean, all these things, committed murder, you are sure would be judged and sentenced. So likewise, we are getting some of the things. Okay, so we cannot tell 100% like this is giving the correct one, but according to the library with the data, which is having more positive one, so it is predicting it. Okay, since it is a library, we doesn't have any measurement technique like the metrics in order to evaluate it. Okay, so this is just a library according to the methodologies which they have used it, and it has been trained up, it is going to deal with it. Okay, fine. So I mean, this is about the output, like whenever we are giving the name of a person in the Twitter account. Okay, so it is going to search the various tweets with their name, and it is going to process all those things, and it finds the sentiment of all those things with the three classes which we have provided, like positive, negative, and neutral. And according to that, it is going to give you the summarized percentage of the these things. We only customized it, we summarized with the percentage of the tweets based on the sentiment. And then we just have the count of those tweets which has been extracted for a particular name, and then we have just listed out 5 tweets out of it. Okay, so this is what it is about. Okay, so now coming to the core part. First I'll start with the, give me a minute, I'll plug in my, yeah. So based on the various libraries, we are going to start with this. Okay, so as I told you, this is not a model based one, we are just using the libraries, and we'll see one by one. Okay, so the first one, I think you would have might have known all these libraries, which will be familiar one: a regular expression re, which will be used to uh, do the manipulation based on the string. regex based manipulations we can do. For example, if you want to subset a word, or find a repeated word, or you have to uh, select a particular word from a sentence. Likewise, for all these string based manipulations, or text based manipulation, we'll be using this regex. And the next one is TP, a Twitter library, which is mainly used to collect the tweets from the Twitter website. And also OAuth handler is going to give you the authentication of it. And the last one is your text block, where it is going to give you the text mining based, text analysis based processing your modules. Okay, text based all manipulations we can be able to do it with the help of the library text block. uh, Inbuilt if you are using Colab or PyCharm or VS Code or any of the IDs, if you are using it, it is not having all these libraries, so you have to install the libraries. I think you know the syntax of it, so you can install the library, okay, in your IDEs. Then we'll start with importing the libraries. uh, as I told you already, OAuth handler is used for authentication. Okay, so here these are the credentials which we need to use it, which the developer account of the Twitter will we can extract all these things, these informations. Okay, so what is the consumer, when you get the account of it, you will get all these credentials of it. Using these credentials, we can be able to get the data from the Twitter. Okay, so what is the consumer key, secret, access token, secret access? Okay, so all these things will be we should know about it. So as I told you already, I don't expose all those things. Okay, so with these information, with the we can be able to extract the tweets of anyone. Okay, only developer account can be able to do that. Okay, and with OAuth handler, we can be able to create an object, and for with the consumer key and the consumer secret. Okay, these information we have, this is for your authentication purpose, in order to extract your information. And we are going to set the access of it with the access token and secret. And after that, with the tweety library, with the API method, we can be able to pass these authentication which we have got it, like the consumer key and the tokens. We can be able to create an object for the TP library with the method API. And with that, we can be able to process with search method. Okay, so with the API object we have created, we can be able to start with the method search. Okay, so I'll just start with the first function call. So we are calling this function analyze function. So when you see the function definition of the analyze, so here you could see. Okay, so we are getting the tweets of it. So get tweets is here. Yeah, here is the get tweets with the name it is going to pass it. And initially we are not having any tweets, and until 1,000 counts it is going to take it with the search method. Okay, so this search method is an default method in TP library, and it is going to search the Twitter account with the credentials what we have provided. And according to the count, it is going to search with the name, what is the query which we have, the name is taken as a query here, and according to the name it is going to search with the the messages of the Twitter. Okay, and with those fetched tweets, we are going to do many parsing, like the pre-processing we need to do it, right? So we need to we will be getting the text and saving those text in the text we are going to save it in a text dictionary, and then like we are taking the sentiment, and we are going to get the sentiment of the text. Sorry. And after getting the sentiment, we are just checking with the count. Okay, if there is any retweets, all those things. Okay, if that is the case, it is going to append only once. If not, we can just go ahead with them. And finally, we are going to go ahead with the we are checking with the tweets. If the sentiment, if the sentiment is positive, we are going to save it in a particular yeah, So we are saving it in the positive one, and I mean we are just segregating positive and negative, and then we are just formulating those with percentage, and we are just displaying out of all the tweets. For positive tweets we are taking only 5 of it, negative tweets we are just taking 5 of it. This is a weird, this is a very simple one where we are using the libraries and we are using it. Only few methods like analyze method and with this inbuilt, I mean we are writing this analyze, in that we are just using some of the inbuilt library, I mean methods available in the library TVP, and we are using it. Just search all these things, get sentiment, these kind of methods we are using it, which is available in the TVP library, and we are using it. Okay, so in the get sentiment we are just getting the sentiment based on the polarity, we'll be getting the polarity score of it, and accordingly we'll be using it. Okay, so this is a simple one. Since I told you like this is not a model, this is just a library usage, we don't have any measurement, I mean metrics in order to measure the performance of these things. Okay, so this is about the sentiment analysis using the very basic library, text based library, text block. Okay, text processing. Next comes to the other one. Now we'll go with modeling, simple modeling, all those things. Okay. So yeah, plenty of libraries you need to install it for different purposes. Like in order to go ahead with generative AI thing, yeah, like you have to install the library Google generative AI, and in order to use Instagram based API kind of a thing, you have to use Instagram private API and install loader. So these kind of libraries you need to use it. Okay, and apart from that, for text processing we'll be using text block. Okay, so this is very basic thing. Okay, so the first one which we are going to see is like with the insta loader. Okay, this is a library which is provided by, this is all these things hereafter I just used Instagram data. Okay, so the library which we are using is insta loader. Okay, so this library will helps you like TWP in the Twitter, for Instagram will we have to use insta loader. With these libraries we can be able to fetch the data from the Instagram. Okay, so for that, like here the username I have given, yeah, so here I just given some name, and I just capture some of the captions out of it, and I can be able to get the sentiment with the basic thing. Okay, so we have not used any I mean model, as I told you. For text blob, using text blob I have just done it similar to the tweets. This is for tweets. I need to zoom it now. Okay, so here for Instagram, as I told you, you have to use the library install loader like VP for Twitter. Okay, the same, we are not using the model over here. Text blob library, text based processing, text mining, text processing, all those tasks we can be able to do it. With that library we can be able to I mean, load your profiles, and according to the profile it will capture the data of it, and it is going to return the sentiment of it. So it is going to just take some text and it is telling neutral. Okay, so for some of the post. Okay, here also the same kind of a analyze sentiment, the same kind of a thing we have just used it. Okay, based on the polarity, that is your polarity value, we are just taking the checking the sentiment score, and accordingly we will be using it. Okay, the same context as we have done it over here, right? So the same thing we are just taking it. So for Instagram, as I told you, we have to use insta loader library. Okay, so next comes the model LSTM, as I told you. Okay, you know very well like LSTM is a deep learning model. Okay, so we are using LSTM model, and we have just used embedding layer, dense layer, all, I mean these are all like very basic concepts of deep learning, where we can be able to get the sentiments according to the labels, and based on the epochs we are just getting the sentiment of it. Okay, so likewise. Just I'll start. For all these things, all the secrets, all those things I would have hidden, so I cannot run you now. But already morning only I've run all these things, and I just show you all these things. Okay, I think these libraries you are familiar. Install loader I told you already. NumPy, numerical Python. I mean, for splitting up of your training and testing data, we are using model selection library, and uh, few of the libraries we have to use tensorflow.keras.preprocessing.txt. Few will support. For some of the versions, it will not support. So Keras is from TensorFlow. So for using Keras, you need to install TensorFlow. Okay. So these are deep learning and machine learning libraries, which will help you to do some of the text-based and deep learning based task. We can be able to do it. So we are using patch sequences, tokenizer, all these things, because we are using the text, right? So we need to go ahead with the basic text processing libraries, methodologies. So for that, patch sequencing, tokenizer, all those things we are using it. And for model, we are using sequential model, and for layers we are using LSTM, embedding dense and all normal things. Okay, so this is what it is. And the first one starts here, fetching the post captions for your username. After getting the username, we can be able to go over the fetch post captions, and with that username we can be able to get the profile of it. Okay, using the profile dot from username, this method, using this method we can be able to get the profile of it, and with those profile name we can be able to get the captions of it, and we are returning back it. And we are doing some of the basic tokenizer and some of the fit on the text to sequence, the basic steps we are doing it, and we are applying the patch sequences, and finally we are mapping the sentiment.
நான் யாரா வர்றீங்க ஒரு பேச்சு கேட்டேன். நாங்க வரோம்னு 4 பேர் முடியாட்டாங்க.
கேட்கவே இல்லைங்க. நான் பாட்டுக்கு கீழ வந்துட்டேன். நான் வந்து பஸ்ஸுக்குள்ள உட்காந்துருக்கேன். வந்து
Sorry guys, I'm getting some noise. Yeah, so based on the various sentiments, we can be able to label those data to the sentiment, and we can be able to uh, give the output of it. Okay, so after padding those sequences, we are
சைலண்ட்ல
just
போட்டு யாரும் மொபைல் வைக்க மாட்டியா ஃப்ரண்ட்ல?
sorry. Okay, so for the padded sequence, that is what we are taking it as an input, and output is sentiments. And this is like splitting your data, you know about it. And the modeling part, here we are using different layers, embedding LSTM, dense layer, all those things. Okay. And the activation function is 3 classes we are having it, so we are going for softmax. And these are all like we are just defining the model by compiling and training the model with some 10 epochs and batch size, all those things, and we are just saving the model, and we are just predicting it for the padded sequences and also the output, and finally we are just giving the sentiment of it. Okay, so after the 10 epochs, so after getting the captions we received it from the Insta, we are just okay, we are just predicted the sentiment of it. Okay, so you could see all these things. So these are the captions, and for these captions we are just getting positive. So you could see all these examples. Here we are not considering about the emojis, other extra, the special characters, all those things here, that is not going to take it into account. Okay, so very basic one in the modeling part. And you could see the accuracy rates. Okay, final it is giving 1 with this data. Okay, validation laws, all those things, validation accuracy. Okay, so all those things we have seen it with 10 epochs. Okay, but still we can increase with more data also. Okay, for different things. Here also another example. Okay, we are just taking it with the polarity. Okay, and with the username, this we have to give the Instagram username and password. Different modes of data I have just taken and I have run it. Okay, so we can I mean this we have not just given the credentials. Okay, we just given some name and we have fetched it. But using the I mean a text blob and install loader without the model, we can get the polarity of it by using the username and password. That is also possible, so that we have given it. Okay, so I just hidden the username and password. So I mean, uh, when we are using text blob, it is not that much accurate. Sometimes you could see caption sentiment, it is unknown, it is directly telling. But for some of the thing, like it is giving sentiment is neutral, positive, likewise. Okay, for some of the captions it cannot be able to give it, but for some of the comment it is giving the sentiment. Okay, so I mean it is not that much accurate when we use the libraries of it. Okay, even though we fetched the entire data of it, I mean see, it is fetching so many datas. Okay, even though it is fetching so many datas, it is unable to give you the exact sentiment of it. Okay, so this is one of the drawbacks over here when we are not using the models. Okay, so next comes the, so basic things I have just told you, and the LSTM I just shown you. Next is your BERT model. Okay, so you know very well, like BERT model comes under your LLMs. Yeah, here I mentioned, right, bidirectional encoder representations from transformer based model. This is one of the model which will be best suited for text summarization, question answering. Okay, so these kind of a task, it is I mean good one to do all those things. Okay, so which is used for your sentiment analysis, especially for Instagram data. Okay, so here we just used from transformers, we are importing BERT tokenizer and TF BERT for sequence classification, all these things. And here we are just taking the tokenizer and the model for it. So here we are using BERT based uncased model. Okay, and we are just predicting it. So these are all pre-trained model. Transformer models are pre-trained. So we can just get the sentiment of it. And with that, we can be able to post the sentiment. Okay, when we give the details of your username and the password with the information, with these information we can be able to get the post. Here we have just taken 10 post. Okay, so I just had given you only few things. Okay, so what is your caption, how you are getting it. Okay, okay. These kind of a comment we are getting it. Just 10 I have just taken. Okay, so this BERT also not giving that much good accuracy. Okay, so we are just checking with other techniques like VADR sentiment and other things like distill, all these things we are just taking. Okay, so next one we are just checking with VADR sentiment, which is like I mean a library where it is going to give you a lexicon based, or what I can say, so rule based sentiment analysis. It can be able to do it. Okay, so here also we will be taking some of the polarity or some of the, I mean what to say, the score of the sentiment, and accordingly will be classifying your data. Okay, so whether that comes under, see, we have taken the polarity of the score, and accordingly we'll be classifying your data as positive, negative and neutral. So here also we have to, I mean for all these options we need to use our credentials and some of the uh, key in order to fetch your data, and then we can be able to fetch your data, and we can be able to get the comment of it, and accordingly we can be able to uh, give the sentiment of it. We can be able to get the sentiment of it. Give me a second, I'll scroll left. Okay, so sentiment will be getting it according to the data, all those things. with those urls will be, I mean, what is your comment url, the post which you have done it, right? So for that particular post, what is the url, and what is the caption for it, and what are the sentiment for it, likewise we'll be getting it with various comment, what is there, all those things. See, all these things. Okay. So this is a rule based vadr sentiment is a lexicon or rule based sentiment analysis library. Okay. So next comes the Distilbert, and the other one is your Distilbert, and the other one we'll be using it here is like Cradle one, Cradf NLP. Okay, so this is also like what to say, NLP based libraries which will help you in order to know about your the sentiment with the help of these libraries. Okay, all these things are from the transformers only, Distilbert and this one. Okay. So generally, Distilbert tokenizer will be used for tokenizer, and this is the model, TF Distilbert. Okay, all these things are flavors of BERT algorithm. Okay. So here they are taking up the details of the Instagram username and password, and accordingly, uh, I mean, based on the captions and based on the comment what they have posted in the particular post. I mean, how many posts we are taking it, we can just restrict to the number of posts. Okay. So for 10 or 15, like whatever we are restricting it. Here we have restricted with 21. So according to those, we'll be getting it, and we can be able to get the sentiment of it. Here in few cases for the emojis also it is detecting the sentiment. Okay. So this is also like a transformer based library, CRADF NLP. Okay. Distilbert and CRADF NLP or transformer based. The flavors of the transformers, especially BERT algorithm based one. So this Roberta is like robust BERT algorithm. I mean, robustly optimized BERT algorithm. Okay. So all these things, the base are the BERT algorithm. Okay. Here also like we'll be getting the, I mean, token as well as the model, and the same kind of a thing we'll be getting the model as well as the tokenizer with the arguments. So with the credentials we can be able to get the options of it, and we can be able to, right? So when you see this one, like here for the emojis also it will be giving the sentiment of it. Okay, let's see all these things. For 21 post we have just taken it, and all those things just giving it. Okay, so we have seen until this one. Okay, so these things, so this is not giving good accuracy in terms of the results. Okay, so these are all like I mean, very basic one, and like all are like transformer based models only. So now we are going to see about Gemini Pro, which is the latest one, or which is giving, among these I tried with multiple things, and among these things I could feel like Gemini Pro is going to give you, Gemini 1.5 Pro I used it, which is giving good results. Okay, before getting into the demo, I'll just give you a few glimpses about Gemini Pro, what it is about, how it is designed, and then I'll show you the demo of the Gemini Pro, how it is predicting while comparing to the other techniques. Okay, so Gemini Pro, I'll just make a full screen of it. Okay, so this is one of the, I think you would have heard about Gemini. Okay, like GPT, Gemini is also one of the AI model, latest LLM based AI model. I'm getting some noise. Can someone mute? Yeah, thank you. Still some noise is there. Okay, fine. So Gemini, I think you would have heard about these names. So it is one of the Google's A model, and this Gemini Pro will help you in order to predict the sentiment very precisely and clearly. Okay, so this is one of the, I mean, most useful AI development model, which have some advanced features, especially transformer and LLM based features, which is growing in needs in performance. And this is I mean, we cannot be able to use all the latest AI model due to some of the restrictions, because plenty of competitions are there among the companies. Like if you take OpenAI, Microsoft, and Google, they are upcoming with their latest models, and all are like licensed ones. So we need to pay and we need to purchase it according to their pricing. Okay, and when we go ahead for those things, so Gemini Pro is one of the uh, a good AI model, or we can just tell it as like LLM based model, where we can be able to train with 1 million token context window, which will revolutionize the data processing, and it helps understanding the deeper understanding and broader application across the diverse fields. And in its advanced architecture, which includes the mixture of the experts, and I mean which is we can be able to enhance the performance as well as the versatility in a very greater way. Okay, and some of the practical applications, such as like various industries we are using it, especially for document analysis and some of the medical research and some of the entertainment, and especially they are used in medical field and some of the cyber threat. So many applications they are using it, e-commerce, so many applications they are using it. And so this Gemini Pro is going to make a transformative milestone, which is going to give you AI driven innovation, and it is going to, it is paving a way for plenty of innovations across various sectors. Okay, and this is simple architecture. I didn't go for a complex architecture where we'll be having a sequence of data, and where it is going to get into some of the encoder and decoder technique in order to give you the correct and precise results. Okay, so this is completely, as I told you, transformer based LLM models, where it is going to train the pre-trained model with plenty of parameters, 1 million parameters, and it is going to give you precise and good results. Okay, so that's what we are going to see it. Okay, so for this we need the account of Google Generative AI, since Gemini 1.5 Pro is a Google product. So we need the library Google Generative AI. Okay, and we need the credentials of these things. Wait, in order to configure these things, we need the credentials of it. 1 minute, I have separately taken what are the credentials it is needed. I'll show you. It's not there. Huh. Okay, so first you need to configure with the API key. Okay, so this is also, it is restricted to developer account. Okay, and also similar kind of a thing you can do it in GPT-4 versions. For that you need the GPT API key. Okay, so with that, that is OpenAI's, this is Google's. Okay, so with each one you can just if you have the license, you can get the API key and you can be able to run it. Okay, so we need the API key of it. So with your license you can be able to get the API key. That is also restricted to particular users only. At a time you cannot use all the people. Okay, and with that we have to configure the GenAI library. Okay, the method from the generative AI, and we have to use the, we are using the generative model AI, which is Gemini Pro, and we are just starting the chart with the history of the data what we have, the informations. Okay, so this we are using it for Instagram, as I told you. All these things we are using it for the Instagram data only. Okay, so these are the credentials which it is required for this Gemini Pro, which is a GenAI based library by Google's one. Okay, and coming to the code for it. Okay, so all these things are pre-trained model only, as I told you earlier. Okay, so where will be using the very well install order for Instagram, and this is for the authentication. and we are having a plenty of generation types. That is what we are using it here as a generative, I mean Gemini Pro. And with that we'll be predicting the sentiment. And here finally, if we could not be able to find the predict, I mean cannot be able to predict the sentiment, we can also mention that cannot predict the sentiment. Okay, so when we start here, we have to give the details of the I mean username and password, and with those things it is going to post, go to the fetch post details. According to the post details, it is going to enumerate with each and every post, and it is going to calculate the sentiment based on this one. Okay, and accordingly it is going to predict the sentiment of it. So if you could see the result. Okay, so here if you could see, based on the comment and the emojis also, it is going to predict it. I have taken another example also in the below, where it is going to give you the exact one. See, here it is just telling positive, all these things. With emojis also it can be able to predict it. Final one I am. Okay, so this emoji, I mean we can be able to get the emotion of the image also. This heart indicates it is happy, likewise. Okay. So compared to other things, Gemini Pro is going to, I mean is giving uh, in GPT-4 also we can be able to get a good one. So but I am unable to get the API key for it, so I cannot be able to work on it. But for other things I have worked on GPT-4, for some of our applications we have worked on it, so that gives also a better performance. Okay, OpenAI's GPT-4 version. Okay, yeah, so this is about the various thing of the I mean Gemini Pros, like where I mean all these things are, the codes are the very basic. Okay, only thing is like if we get the key secrets, all those things we can be able to, API key secrets, all those things we can be able to use all these pre-trained models and we can be able to do it. Okay, but apart from these things, okay, so if you want to customize with any of the things, okay, with your pre-trained model we can write some code and we can be able to customize according to our need. That also we can be able to, here we can just, we have just taken the sentiment and we have customized it. But if you want to customize anything in particular, okay, if it is negative in sentiment, something you need to give it up, or with the polarity score you need to mention those things, we can write some customized code and we can be able to make our outputs precise for our application and we can be able to give the results accordingly with those pre-trained models. That is also possible. That is what like the latest research is going on, where we can be, I mean not only for this one, for any applications, if you want to customize with a particular solution, this is what I need the output. Okay, I have to customize my model such that it has to work on this one. So likewise we can be able to do it by writing some customized code and we can work on it, okay, with the pre-trained models. Okay, okay, so that's all about the part of it. Okay, any doubts or any clarifications do you have? I'll share you all these code by removing the keys, so you can just check with those things for inspecting more.
Now it's time for participants to ask their queries and clarify any doubts with the resource person.
So
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable and informative session. You have demonstrated the social media trend forecasting using deep learning techniques in Python in the Jupyter platform in a detailed way. Hope all the participants will get the depth knowledge in this topic and also enjoy this session. Finally, we have come to the end of the day 2 session. We extend our gratitude to the organizing team whose dedication and meticulous planning have made this event possible. We would like to thank our esteemed resource person whose expertise and insights will illuminate our understanding of deep learning in social media analytics. We would like to thank the distinguished faculties and researchers. Your presence enriches this program with diverse perspectives and valuable contributions. Thank you all for being part of this exciting journey. Let us embark on this week with enthusiasm and a shared commitment to academic excellence and discovery. The feedback form link has been posted in the chat box. Participants, please take a moment to provide your valuable feedback. Thank you.
Ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
மேம்.